Okay, I haven't really talked about Crimson Desert in a long time, but that's because we haven't heard about Crimson Desert in a long time. Here's the thing, we have a 7 minute intro cutscene and then boss battle that I've already watched once. It's really cool. I'm going to watch it normal speed and then I'm going to slow it down and talk about the nitty gritty and what I like and whatnot. Of course, watching it normal speed, I'm going to share my thoughts about the basic information, simple thoughts that you can really just grasp, most likely yourselves, at a first viewing. It's very exciting, very high potential, some awkwardness, whether it be unintentional or some sort of a design choice, a dev design choice. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Pearl Abyss, it's a dev team based out of Korea. They made Black Desert Online.
Are those the kids over there?
Okay, so we got a health bar over here. Stamina bar isn't showing yet, but it's more like a stamina coil, a stamina Ouroboros.
Halt! What? This don't concern you, outsider. Where are the kids?
These characters don't look the best. They look great, they serve their purpose. They look a little bit awkward in some of these, you know, smooth transitions into cutscenes. And the smooth transition is nice. The blood particles are a little weird. Snow particles I totally understand. Because it's, you know, I get that. Nice shield bash there. Grapple, you can see the stamina. Knowledge acquired, I do like that. I have to check a log or something. Nice little dagger kill there. Ooh, a knee for control of the action. Not only that, but the consequences of the actions that you take. That knee, shutting down the enemy for a moment before going to the other one. Very good.
You got any idea what you're doing? The spirit will punish us all. Why on? The spirit of the mountain! Over there!
So that's neat.
We're doomed ourselves!
Yeah, look at him. It seems like he was gonna fake out and be like, oh, I made you look, but nope. Look at that thing. It's absolutely beautiful. Definitely a spirit that comes straight out of mythology. Again, some totally understandable particles with the rocks and dust. And here we go, we have the boss battle. And this is where the particles get into overdrive. Man, I just want to say, that roar, I feel like the control on that, on the character, was lasting a little long. Particles on the weapon effects, I think, are still a little too much, especially with the environment. As long as we have a setting to get rid of that, or not even get rid of that, but lower it way down, that would be amazing. Tracking isn't too much on the leaps, which is good. I like that, you know. Of course, he's getting hit, but he'll adapt later on in the video. Love the horizontal movement. Didn't position himself right, but if he had initially, he would have positioned himself with the momentum of that attack to continue the combo, which is all sorts of stuff that I want to see in an action game. And he's trying to... He's got a grapple here, but he's got no stamina. So he gets thrown off. Stamina management is going to be key in this game, and I'm here for it. Stamina management, positioning, understanding control. Weird visual things. We don't really have a visual indication of where these ice things are going to fall, and the fact that they put control on the main character is a little bit concerning. I would definitely add a visual indicator of where they are falling before they start falling, because it's fast. Got a little God of War phase transition here. This one shows the durability of the main character. Look at this brutal shit. Into the wall. The momentum of that one part was a little weird. I'll break it down later, but damn! Against the wall and into the tree. Absolutely vicious, but Cliff has some durability. So that makes him scrapping with these large foes. Totally understandable. We're not in the same world. We got different levels of durability, toughness. Looks like we're swapping to a bow now. I like that. A little bit of slowdown. I like the roll. Smoke particle effects. Again, it's like a good potential spot to have particle effects. I get it. Haze, smoke, fog, rain, all that sort of thing. The weapon abilities, I don't exactly understand. They look great, but the particles, man, I just do not care for that. And it would chug a PC processor if you don't have spec'd up gear. That is very indicative of Shadow of the Colossus. Totally neuron activating. I love that. Love those, you know, climb on and stabs. That's classic. Really cool setup there. Being able to keep your forward momentum and keep moving. Not just a parry. Oh, here's where we get into a really bad spot here. I really don't like that. Being able to open a menu, pause like a Skyrim or a Zelda, and just eat all the food and just regain your HP like no consequence is really painful. And they actually show a better way that they could implement this so that it's like just there. See that? See how he opens his quick slot there? There's food in that. There's weapons, there's a lantern, there's ammunition types in that quick wheel. If you only had the ability to have food there, that would be ideal. So he went for a low impact move and a kick. I don't understand why he thought that would be a good idea, but he got punished for it, which is nice. Again, limited tracking like I mentioned earlier on the hops. He was able to punish it. But look, quick eating the food. Perfectly reasonable. I just don't like the unimmersive pausing the game, eat 20 million meals, heal up the full type of deal. I'm not interested in that. Again, look at all these abilities, and now we have the cinematic kill. Classic God of War style with the trolls. Very nice. We've diverged from it here. And that blood was quite tasteful as bloody gore could be. Really quite nice. But with some cracks around the edges. See, the visuals right now, that there's limited particles, actually looks quite nice. And this, particles on this animation, I like that. It's mystical. Again, another excuse to slap up some particles. However, particles, man, it's subjective, yes, because people enjoyed the particles in Final Fantasy 16, right? If they can enjoy that, they can enjoy any particles. Doesn't matter the quantity. Particles everywhere. Doesn't matter. People will actually seek it out. Not only will they tolerate it, not only would they enjoy it in the moment if it was served to them, but there are going to be people that actively seek it out as an aspect of a layer of graphical fidelity that people are looking for in games in whatever current year, current gen, what have you. A lot of people on the other side, like me, I really do not care for the particles, and I would turn them down quite a bit. There are some particles that I really like, and again, I don't want them totally removed because, as I mentioned, there are so many different ways that particles can be realistically put into the game. All sorts of weather, smoke, mystical abilities, just that, so many things. But now I want to slow it down. Let's break it down, starting with the actual fighting here. Here we go. Let's get into it. Yeah, this is like the kind of, I guess, garish way of blood splurting because it just goes fucking everywhere. It's like 4 different directions. And it's like, I would be fine if you cut them open and it goes like a lot of blood in like maybe 1 or 2 directions, like these two, That would be really solid. Or even just one direction like this, That would be great. But this is a goofy standstill, really weird freeze frame. Also, another thing, camera shake, motion blur. I want to be able to turn those off Done. 0. That has to be an option. I don't want any lick of that in my action-oriented game. It's going to give me a damn headache. And if it doesn't, like, I'm a big, not big, but I'm big on Valheim. I love me some Valheim, okay? When I'm fighting these bosses, right? I didn't mind camera shake until I turned it off. And then I experienced the game. And once I did, without camera shake, I cannot turn it back on. It's a night and day difference. I can't stand it now with camera shake on. And now I notice it. I turn it way down, if not off, in every single action-oriented or action RPG or even just whatever elements of action, okay? I don't want that camera shake. I don't want motion blur. I can't have it. I'm not interested. I want to enjoy the visuals with no other nonsense. I would turn off lens flare. Valheim bloom is really intense, so I turn that down. So many visual things like harsh particles, like way down if not off. So I do want to see these sort of settings come in clutch for my visual enjoyment of the actually really cool and interesting things that they have and showcase here. Like, there's a lot of really nice detail with this bow, the quiver, the shield, all set up here. Great reminders subconsciously. Hey, we have variety. We have options. Let's fuck around. It's an action game. Let's mess around and have some fun with it. And then we can really strategize. But I love it. I love the little bits of detail that we have here. The coloring. Even though we have a limited palette so far, the detail is still present. Especially look at this guy. Look at the cloak. Absolutely wonderful layers on this gauntlet here. Absolutely wonderful. Wait. What happened to this axe guy? He got knocked down? How? How did he get knocked down? What? Wait, so we threw like a knife or something, or an axe or something throwable, easy, right? And the force of our shoulder movement was enough to knock the other guy down. I wish we had better impact animation, more weight to the shoulder bash that knocks the other guy down, because the camera moves away from that. I just want it to linger a bit to showcase, like, hey, we are really knocking that guy over. And I understand how we would be able to do that because, again, the detail, look at what's actually on the shoulder, look what's just on the side here. We can really lay in with this side of the body and get into that. And, of course, the ability systems and actions that we can take advantage of kicks, take advantage of everything here. And that's just wonderful. But it's just really weird style of either animating, directing, or both there. Not bad. And now we're getting into it. Whoa, beautiful. Absolutely. I love the shield bash. This is where I'm going to slow it down. Slow down. We'll do 0.75. Sorry, how about that? So we have what looks like a stance and sort of counter first. And here we have a nice animated shield bash here. We can already see we're going into it. Again, the positioning. Look at the shield and sword relative to the enemies. Everything here looks super realistic. And boom! Here's where we exit the realism. And fucking just fuck off motion blur. Oh my god. But we are launching 2 enemies, it seems. This guy gets launched. This guy's put up a guard. This guy's going in for a swing. So this guy who was going for a swing gets pushed back and interrupted. This guy who was guarding doesn't get pushed back as much. Very good showcase. And then the guy just far in the back gets shoved back. Now, that's not a normal, realistic shield bash. However, going onward, and as we've seen with the actual boss fight, Cliff is not a normal, realistic strength person. This is obviously our super strong MC with tons of durability and capability. So we see some particle effects on the shield bash showcasing, hey, you know, got some movement on these guys that are getting sent back. Well, we hit this guy too, which is interesting. Let's actually run that back one more time. Yep, they're all 4 of them are in there. That move, oh man, it has a decent amount of startup, but I can still see that move being a mainstay in people's repertoire. There were a lot of sweeps and stuff in the past showcase that we're not really seeing here, but that's fine. It's really good to showcase new things like that. So getting control on enemies with this, some knockdown, some good knockback. Knockback is only like really controlling the enemies when you have a good amount of time to either true combo or take other actions without the enemies having high enough movement speed and recovery to the point where they can reach you before you can do anything of significant notice. So knockback looks like control here. It might not be the same during a different fight versus enemies that might be more sturdy. Obviously, fighting against certain maybe larger enemies or bosses that could be blocking even in some way, or attacking while blocking, like that one antler charge maybe. Obviously, they wouldn't be impacted as much, but any knockdown that we could do, now that's combo city right there, and I love that. Let's keep going. Grappling, very cinematic, and we're comboing there because we have knockdown. I like that. Woo! Look at that. Again, the knockdown. All different ways that we could knock down. We've got kick, which is knockdown there. We've got special ability there with the particles yet again. I really dig it. Again, just knockdown city. That one knocks him down. The amount of times that we're knocking enemies down, I dig it. Because these are regular people. And Cliff can contend with the Whitehorn. So, I totally understand it. And it's satisfying. Again, we're in this action-adventure fantasy. We have the power fantasy represented in our mechanics. I like it. Initiate the cutscene. Get that stamina back. Wonderful. We can skip this cutscene here. Actually, I want to see. Nice. Nice. Presumably this might be customizable with the cloak, but definitely the bow, quiver, shield, sword, maybe even dagger. This lantern, I know because the lantern pops up in the wheel later on, but very, very nice. There's a lot of room for customization. And even though we have a grounded kit at the moment, there's so much room for messing around, optimizing, experimentation. I like it. Fashion, even, dare I say. Alright, we can skip this. We're getting into the Whitehorn. I don't want to showcase this at 0.75 speed. Now we'll get into the fight. Check that roll. Solid roll. Oof. Weird, 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 weird. Whoa. You see that? Are you guys seeing that? Let's put 0.25 speed on that. That gliding forward momentum on your attacks. That is strange, man. I don't like it being that intense. I really don't. I didn't like it in God of War 1, or not. God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok. I don't like it. I don't like that forward momentum. Spacing becomes limited. Okay? As a skill set, once we start sliding all over the place on skates, spacing becomes limited by default, you know. And I really don't like it. Let's take a look here. We get into it. We have generous iframes on the roll. Oh, look at him slide. Oh! Sorry. We slide even before we roll. Just make him step. Just have the animation where maybe he goes, pulls a little bit back with his arm, but forward with his shoulder. And he takes a really gathering step with that right foot, and then the sword comes across left to right. Why do we need to glide unnaturally like we're on skates here? And then we do it again. Although that one could have been, because there's so much clutter, could have been a regular step. Again, I don't mind the back step there, but wow, that one move was very painful. I'd rather that be touched up. I don't want that. No. That's goofy as hell. So here we have the roar, which very reminiscent, take me right into Monster Hunter, and roar being a true combo, depending on RNG, maybe he goes into a slow attack with a big windup, and maybe you can escape that. Maybe he goes into a quick attack with a limited windup, and you can escape, and you get true comboed. Being true comboed from an AoE as large and fast as that roar? No. That doesn't feel good at all. I doubt any gamer is going to be a big fan of that. Very much touch that up. That's absolutely got to be touched up. The roar effect, covering the ears, kind of bobbing the head a little bit, that's got to be reduced on the recovery side just a little bit, so that we don't, true combo us into whatever bash attack or what have you. At least let us, at the last moment, roll away. The rolls, positioning, moving forward. Look at the steps! The steps! Let's watch that again. Perfectly normal forward momentum represented with proper animation. Step, step, step. They know how to do it. They know how to do it, and they know how to do it well. So the horizontal move, running forward, we kick, we got a little bit of pushback, but nothing fancy. That kick, let's see, check the damage on that kick. Nothing serious, even though it's on the head. It's more of a combo opener or approach option, it seems. Perfectly fine. Different attacks have different benefits. That's just good design. Okay, being able to move back, reposition yourself. A little bit of tracking, but again, nothing terribly serious. Bad attempt at a kick there. And now we're getting into the thick of it. We can block up to a certain degree, but we got guard broken because no stamina management, very important. Horizontal movement here, and our positioning gets punished because we didn't position well enough at the start of that exchange. That is good. Positioning, very important, very good in an action-oriented game. We start this off here, but we could have, instead of walking back while guarding, walked to his side and then gone for that momentum move, gotten around to his back, and then we could have done something again around the side, or just taken advantage of the fact that he was turned around, get in a quick move, and maybe take the steps back afterwards. There's a lot of different branching options. How you execute them is going to be a fantastic indicator of skill as a player. The fact that he didn't do it as well there, well, he had a good idea, but not quite as good for the fight. Pretty standard, but he went for that triple attack and he got punished for it, but we grappled. Decent damage on the grapple, truly, but we have no stamina and we're knocked off. Again, the stamina management. Remember what I said earlier? How we could position ourselves, use that horizontal movement, and then potentially get to the back of the boss or a large enemy or what have you. If we did that with decent amount of stamina, we could have used the rest of the stamina to get up, grapple on the enemy on the back, and then get some nice good old dagger stabs in before manually hopping off classic Monster Hunter style and backing off to either regain stamina, swap to the bow, just return to neutral, get ourselves good positioning, good spacing for maybe an opening kick so that we can combo into something else. I wonder if we could open up into a combo kick from the back and then convert that into a grapple. Very interesting. I don't know, but we'll see. Here we have our weather patterns. I like that you can see him before he starts lunging at you. Again, these AoEs, they put control on you. I don't like that they're not very telegraphed where they're going to be. See, he's a little bit frozen there. Not very good. However, yeah, you see that? See how he gets hit? He rolls into one because you don't know where they're going to be until they're basically there. And he gets comboed. Now, the damage is nothing intense. And the knockdown he can just roll up from. Very classic, very Souls style. However, I still want better telegraphs on those AoEs. By far. And here's the durability. We can skip by this. There's this one thing. This launch is a little weird. I wish the camera just panned out to the side. I understand, like, there's some sort of a teleportation that has to take place when we get into these sort of animations. There's a little bit of a sliding that the zoom in kind of hides from us. It's been broken down since God of War 2018. It's a very classic way of going from your in-gameplay combat scenario to a fantastical, lovely cutscene or cinematic. But I don't understand why we couldn't have gone just one cut and then just like had us pan out into the hitting the tree. It seems a little weird. Now we're into phase 3. We got a nice red health bar. Or no, phase 2. Green health bar. Again, a triple. We can cancel out. We can cancel out of that. I like that. So we did a double that time. And then we tried to do something else. Let's look at that again. 1, 2. Kick. What are we trying to do there? What are we going for? That was weird. But that's a good option to have. Now we've got bow. Bow and arrow shenanigans. I like that. Nice. Ooh, stylish as all hell. I love the slowdown. That's great quality of life. Very cinematic, very neuron activating. I dig it. Seems like, and we're going to see this in a moment, we got fantastical little rounds. So maybe we have some sort of smoke or exploding arrow here. That could be very standard. You know, fire arrows, very, very standard. Get some control on that. Seems like he's really writhing around from that, so we have some sort of elemental weakness or maybe a unique weakness of sorts. Again, being able to tank, use your stamina, get that now 4-5 hit combo because we have good positioning. We were able to block and keep maneuvering. Very good positioning. But stamina management, again, we were out of that and we were really taking a beating. Here's where the real pain starts. Really getting into it. I've already talked about why I like the Shadow of the Colossus-esque stabs that we get from that. Let's go back. Again, the blocking is nice. Being able to keep momentum in some regards and maybe not so much in other regards. I dig that. Again, keep the momentum. Helps with positioning, helps with combos. I love it. I'm a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this. I'm really not. Oh, I'm not a fan of that, man. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I like being able to see the menu UI. There's stuff to talk about here. But being able to open up to all of this food and just eat carefree. No. Man, I want to get into the action. Here we have confirmed explosive arrows. Not mystical in property, just straight up explosive arrows. I like the font. I love the design. UI looks crisp and clean. No caffeine. We've got some health here. Spirit, which probably the thing that we use special abilities on. Stam, recharges, totally fine, but maybe we'll probably, almost guarantee that we'll be able to upgrade all of these as some sort of leveling system. And then we have attack and defense. Whether or not these are going to be based entirely on our weaponry and armor here, or if not we have some sort of a base modifier, is unknown currently. Reputation, some sort of town or area thing. Attack speed is interesting because I assume that the more this fills up, the faster our attack speed is. We're already attacking pretty fast with 1 bar out of 5. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Movement speed, I wonder if this is affected by armor. If it is, then I'm telling you right now, armor's got to have some sort of secondary benefits, some sort of buffs to the character, because otherwise we're going to be move speeding out of this world. There are certain circumstances where move speed can be a benefit to keep in a certain range like this, namely due to positioning and spacing. Like if you have a classic example is the roll and armor system from Souls games. Most of the time you're going to want a medium roll so that you can roll into an enemy on certain attacks and be able to punish them. Roll backstab is the classic example. Roll in, backstab, and then you can get a charge attack or a special or what have you as the enemy's getting up. Classic. But if you have too much movement, then that could fuck with your combo. That could fuck with your backstab. And so, potentially, if movement speed affects rolls, or if it affects certain speed or distance on movement speed, like movement attacks, like certain kicks or shield bashes or what have you, then customization might be just inherently there and present within the game, and armor choice is going to be extremely varied and skillful. It's going to be a very good thing to analyze and take advantage of encounter to encounter, tough boss to tough boss, which is cool. But I would still like secondary benefits. I really would like that. Maybe some sort of elemental resistance, or just blunt pierce slash resistance, this sort of thing. If they could go for like a resistance and very resistant, that sort of deal. It depends. I don't know what's going on yet. What's interesting here is we have these 3 symbols here, or even 4 on this one. So we have symbols here. This probably indicates the quality, the tier of quality. So we've got, say, tier 3 sword, tier 3 bow, tier 3 chest piece. We've got maybe a helmet slot here that's off because we want to showcase Cliff's character design. Tier 1 shield, keep it simple. We're not going to use that too much, just use it to block. So understand why they have a tier 1 basic shield for the showcase. Tier 4 gauntlets, they probably wanted the fashion to look excellent here. And tier 2 boots, again, pretty standard, pretty stylish here. But we also have other, more basic stuff over here. Tier 1, here, interesting. Very interesting. Now what I really hope doesn't happen is that literally we have armor and it's like, oh, the next thing just has better stats, and what am I going to use? I'm going to use the stuff with the bigger number. Bigger number? Oh, I must have the bigger number. Oh boy, that type of system, not a fan. Not a fan of that. I want a little bit of depth to the gear. Just a little bit. More than just, higher tier. Bigger number. Wow. I get to do bigger number. No. I understand there's complexity in the combat. So having that number is going to influence things in a great number of ways. But still, I would really appreciate some depth in that. We got a lantern slot here. We've got some other stuff here. This looks like a tier 1 dagger of sorts. So this is what we really stab into while we grapple. I like how that's customizable. Maybe 2 slots of jewelry. Maybe an amulet here. I don't know what's going on. We got 3 slots over here. So in total, 4, 5, 5, that's 14, 15, 16 customizable things with an inventory of 40. Certain things looks like arrows can stack to 100. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. There are still some things to be, personally interested in. It's like, okay, well, maybe how do the stats work? How do the different tiers work? Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't just go bigger number. That's not going to be some sort of deal breaker for me because, again, there's so much depth already in the action, in the execution. So focusing on the preparation, I don't want them to. It's an action and adventure game. I don't want them to go wicked heavy on Diablo-esque stats where we focus on preparation and optimization to the nitty-gritty. I'm just saying a tiny bit of depth goes a long way, and it wouldn't remove the great sense and great focus on the execution rather than the preparation in terms of strategy and gameplay and combat. All right. Critical hit chance is interesting. So we have a little bit of a secondary thing, but again, this just leads to bigger number. So, not the best, just personally, subjective, me. This is my taste talking. Battery, I don't know what's going on here. Interesting lightning thing. Battery, I don't know what's going on with this. No idea what's happening here. That's interesting. Let's continue on in the video. Whoa, sorry. I should have been aware. Stop. Ay. Spider web. Here we go. Let's go 0.25. Spider web used mainly for making shoes, gloves, traps. We're Monster Hunter in this. Give me some Outward vibes, maybe some of that. I don't know. Monster Hunter would be better because it lends to the control aspect again, getting your combo starters, letting you really pop off, neuron activate. I dig that in an action game. I dig it. Or sold to merchants. I feel like we don't even need to put in the code for text or sold to merchants. Surely, if it's something that we can collect, it's something that we can sell to a merchant. I don't think we need this, especially considering it sells sell for this, buy for this. This text is unnecessary. We can remove that. I understand if it's something that's purely a valuable, like specific gemstones or something. But then the only text would be like mainly just a valuable sold to merchants, prized for its high selling value, something like that. But on regular items that have all this other purpose, I feel like we could save some small lines of information here. Cut that out. It's a bit redundant. Let's check the other stuff. Simple wooden arrow, fair. Meat on toast. Add spirit, which is interesting. So we are able to just rapidly eat for special abilities too, which is kind of, I would prefer if it was just in a wheel. That would be fantastic. Even so, I like the idea of not only just eating for health, but also getting your mana equivalent. Not bad. I dig it. That's fine. Get all sorts of different things. Alright, meat on toast. Let's go back to 0.75 now. Okay, we're stanced up. We're turtling up. We are punching him, it seems. Got some interesting looking martial arts there. And it kind of knocked him down, knocked him back. Maybe we did a little special attack. Yeah, check that out. Interesting. So, it looks like we glowed with green particles. Yeah, so very mystical, but also we have some green glowing on the abdomen there of this white horn. So Very particular. Maybe that if we match up the specific type of move in this way, we can get control on an enemy or even a boss, which is really nice. Because again, look how the boss is reeling. We do have some recovery on that, but we're able to charge up and combo a special ability because we set up a proper bit of control, even on a boss. I dig it. I really like it. Nice little wheel there. Hold on. That's so fast. It's so fast, guys. Oh! It's like going away wicked fast. Oh, fuck. Come on, man. I just want to see the wheel. Let's properly slow it down to 0.25. Take a look at this wheel. Alright. We've got food here. I think it should just be here. Looks like we can L and R, put these triggers and rotate through different types of food. Again, because the action is still going, I much prefer that. Being able to be punished, much prefer that. And it looks like we have a variety of things over here too. So we have our ingredient here, different arrow type. But what's really cool is I like the lantern, all sorts of gear. So being able to have a secondary kit for swaps, that's going to add some depth to the strategy, to the cinematics, to the feel of these intense multi-phase boss fights. Being able to swap to the right thing as we test, as we experiment, as we break down, strategize, that's going to lead to a community of people who really want to excel in these games. We're going to see really cool speedrunners, challenge runners, very specific boss speedrunners, maybe, like those who come in from Monster Hunter, maybe. This type of depth in the quick swap, oh man, this is going to lend to some amazing simple gameplay in the average player, just getting satisfied, getting through, setting up your setups, whatnot. And then, as time goes on, the more long-lasting depth of the community will be able to take this and run with it. So I love a good wheel system like this. Fantastic. Here we have something interesting. Up in this top corner, we have a variety of symbols here, which is very curious. I'm really wondering what some of these are. I can only sort of guess, but maybe some type of resources. Man, I'm really not sure. But it seems like we might have a great deal of different types of resources that we could collect. Curious. Again, blocking. Huge stamina dip on the block for that attack. Early roll, my man. Got lucky on that one. Again, we're sort of panic rolling here. Gotta time that. Yeah, he gets punished. Let's move back into 0.75. Simple hits, fine. I would not be going for simple hits in neutral like that, especially at low stamina. Interesting attack there. Hold on. Cute little approach option dash there. That's something that I don't mind having, that sort of gliding animation on, where we just slide forward. It's a specific move that is designed with that sole purpose in mind, to slide forward and attack. Nice. Good. It just doesn't belong on random other things. And certainly not before the attack starts. Kick. Again, why are we going for these kicks, man? Punished and deserved. I don't understand it. Again, get your positioning right and we'll be able to combo. Ooh, I love being able to walk under it. A lot of people give a lot of credit to Dark Souls' roll system. It's like, oh, well, you roll, and then you roll, and then you roll, and sometimes you block. Especially in these later systems, these later games in the series. Sometimes you block, right? But even beyond niche things like parries, or certain abilities that give iframes. There is always, and has always been, positioning. If you position well in these Souls games, Elden Ring, what have you, except for like Sekiro, right? Sekiro and Dark Souls 2 have like the worst punishing elements to natural positioning. You know, it's like either you gotta do specific things or you gotta level a certain other thing. In one game or the other, it's like, oh man, I just want to position. I want to position well. I want to have that access. And to be fair, in many fights, you are able to do that in those two games. But too many instances of enemies arbitrarily punishing good positioning will have a grand toll on that. And it's just like, I need to be able to position like this here, where he gets underneath the attack. He just walks under because he understands, okay, there's 4 hits in that combo, and we're able to lay on with combos. We're able to punish with our position. Again, we tried to go for some sort of forward momentum thing, didn't quite work out, got punished, but I see the idea. Again, another slide, great for positioning there. And then we take advantage of it with some combos. And that being said, once we've mastered certain elements of positioning, he was able to actually just combo off, pop off, get into a rhythm, get into a groove, which is what people really enjoy Souls games action combat for. The rhythm, the groove, the flow state. Once he was able to get into that, boss is done. So, let me know what you guys think. Broke down this 7-minute video into 47 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it, because I think that this game has immense potential. But we'll have to see where they go, how they adapt, what the settings are, and how the gameplay actually functions. Until then, do let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.